Welcome back, traders, to today's forecast on XAUUSD forecast for today, managing a small account. And we're gonna kind of pick up from where we left off because I haven't done a video in about a week, right? So it's been a week since I did a video, and we're just gonna pick up from where we left off, some of the things we talked about, right? Now, one of the things that I did mention in the last video that I did was that I believe that price was going to come down to around this level over here, which was 27, 25, 61, right? And bounce and then head up to 3K. Now, based off that video that I did last week, price has indeed gone to 3K. It didn't do this. It just took off from this range in this area over here. So it just took off from this range in this area over here, okay, and then shut up. As a matter of fact, let me just get rid of all of this stuff for now. You can bring this back later. Yeah, let me just get rid of the VWAP as well. Okay, so price kind of took off from this range over here, and as we can see, it took out the weekly high, the previous week's high, right? And then it blasted off like so. That's basically textbook on what this channel pretty much talks about, which is weekly lows and weekly highs being taken out and how we behave when these moves take place. At the same time, the weekly low was taken out over here also, okay? So that could have been an okie doke if you jumped in on that, right? Now, my whole experience in this range last week was also horrible because once again, I did all the wrong things, right? So I kind of hurt the small account that we've been working on managing. And then this push to the upside, in all fairness, I basically missed most of it. So price basically just were left. I had to make a decision if I was going to chase the market or if I was going to wait for it to settle down a little bit and then jump in again to see what I could do. So I wasn't able to do anything in this area over here. So massive screw up in the range, right? So that's one of the challenges that I'm working on overcoming, and I believe I will be successful. So I don't have an issue with that. And like I always say, I mean, you're not going to improve if you don't know how to overcome challenges. And obviously, if you're going to start blaming random things, brokers, etc., all these things, and not really taking accountability for it, you're not going to develop. So this is a lesson that literally I'm taking on for myself as to how to better navigate and manage my capital in the market. And bearing in mind, because we're doing this with a really small account, right? It's that much more challenging because every mistake is super costly, right? So I have to bear all that in mind. Now I've managed to get the channel, I've managed to get the account back up to say around 68 pounds, right? I was in a trade today, so I hopped in around this level over here and I rolled it all the way up, and this wick down here was the one that took me out due to trailing stop, which is fine, right? So we've been able to recover it, so we're back up to around 68 pounds now, which is okay, right? It's not bad because we did start off from 50 and we've been going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, but at the moment we're not really taking the account isn't going bad, right? It's just growing very slowly, right? But bottom line is there are many traders that are in the market and they start off with a small capital, and the aim of the game of this particular series on managing the small account is to show all you guys that it can be done. And this is the first time that I'm basically doing something like this as well, right? So not only do I think it's going to be beneficial for you guys watching, it's also beneficial for me also, because it would solidify myself as I know what it is that I'm doing in the market. I believe I know what it is that I'm doing in the market, but bottom line is people lie, numbers don't, right? So if I grow the account, I'm right. If the account doesn't grow, then naturally I still got a lot of work to do, and that's something that I endeavor to get over. So with all of that said and done, right, because I was going to bring on the other account, the live trading, the MT5, but in all fairness, I'm out of the trade at the moment and there isn't really much going on, so there's no point in bringing that on board unless I'm actually in a live trade, and I think that's the only time it makes a bit of sense to show that to you guys. So with that said and done, let's just bring in the levels to mark out where we are. So that was Friday. Okay, let's mark it out from here. Let's lock that in place, right? And then let's bring in the levels of interest that may come in handy for this week. And as we can see, this week's weekly high has already been taken out. So hence why I jumped in with a buy, right? So, I mean, I do practice what I preach, right? I definitely do that. But this down here, this was terrible. And I think I got caught in this area as well. I think this area was part of the one that did me some damage. This whole area after Monday, I think, yes, it definitely did hurt me. It definitely did, because I remember when I ended the video on the Monday, I was selling the market. So yes, I got stung in this area, and then I became super patient because, once again, managing a small account. So basically what happened was I missed all of this. I missed all of that, right? I missed all of it. I didn't even jump in. And today I had an opportunity to get in with a buy, and then I took that buy. So this area here was the one that did me the most damage. It took the account down by a fair bit. Like, it really did hurt, this one move over here. I literally forgot where I screwed up, and I think I made a couple more additional trades in this area as well that did me a little bit of damage also. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get back to where we was. So what I want to do now is mark out levels of interest for this week, right? So weekly low, and then let's put in the weekly high for last week, because these are the levels that we definitely want to keep an eye on. And like I said, I was lucky enough to be able to to jump in on a trade today, buying gold, and that worked out. And that was simply because I followed the setup, I followed my rules, and it worked out fantastic. Also as well, I'm sure you've noticed we've got the volume profile on this side. This tool is actually working fantastic, right? It's working great. There is a lot I could say about it, but at the moment it's early days for me to come in and start telling you, all of you guys, to start using it. But it is looking good. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's definitely is looking good. But that's something that I'll wait until I have undeniable proof that this whole thing is certified, it's 10 out of 10, and then I will explain to you in great detail how I'm basically using the volume profile, and then you can then go ahead and replicate that for yourself if you find that information useful. But as it stands, it's early days. I've only basically started using this from last week, right? I've only just started using it from last week, and I prefer this. I prefer volume profile to the chart footprint that we did, right? I prefer volume to the chart footprint, but then again, I never spent that much time with the chart footprint, and I believe I might have misunderstood a number of things in regards to that particular instrument. So that's still work in progress, and that's obviously, as I say, things are not kind of done overnight. It takes time to learn, comprehend, and be able to successfully implement it. So hopefully we will visit that particular asset at some point in the future. But this is working great. I'm not going to lie to you, it's working great so far, and we'll talk about that soon. So getting on with where we are in terms of what we need to do for week moving forward. So that is this week commencing the 17th of March, but today is Tuesday the 18th of March. Super important. So what was I about to say? So the weekly low set for us last week, we are looking at 28.80.35, right? So if this low is taken out, we're looking for moves in the corresponding direction, taking it downwards. And the weekly high set for us last week on a Friday, it is 30.05.47, right? So this high was just taken today, hence why we jumped in. Now I'm out, so I don't know what market is going to do. I personally believe that it's going to aim up to get to around $100, right? 3.1. So if it does that, that would be fantastic. Also as well, if price kind of closes below this weekly high over here, okay, I'm not going to turn around and say that it's a definite move for you to start looking for positions downwards, but you should start to consider it, right? And I'm not entirely sure how far it will go down, but what I do know is this: if price does not bounce from this support level over here, if it does pull back, so if price does not bounce from this level right here, which is 2978.72, right, then I will expect an explosive drop all the way down to around this level over here, right, which will be this volume profile POC, or point of control, right? And then that level we're looking at is 2917.82, right? If it bounces from this level, then obviously the uptrend is going to continue, and it's fair to assume that the next push to the upside, if it hasn't done 3.1, meaning 3,100, right, then chances are it's going to push up and possibly do 3.2, right? Now, obviously, depending on what you know about certain things and whatnot, there is a high probability that market might want to go to 33. So that is 3K300, right? That's a super number, right? So if you know, you know. If you don't, then you don't, right? So so these are the moves that I'm kind of looking for, right? And once again, apologies for the videos not coming out as often as I would like. I'm just going to be honest with you, like I'm kind of feeling a bit burnt out, right? Because I'm focusing on the market all the time, and then I'm coming out to produce videos, right, for you guys, which is important to me as well as to you guys as well. So what I would say is just be patient, right? At the bare minimum, I will aim to give you a video a week, right? But if I don't get upset, right? There is enough data and enough information in all the content that I've produced to help you in a journey if you like my style of trading. If you don't, then you don't. There's nothing I can do about that. And if all of that said and done, if you found the content that I've shared with you today useful, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification, and drop us a like. And I will see all of you again in the next one.